You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Bruner. Ralph Hipp is on assignment. We'll check with him shortly. A couple of developing stories for you tonight. We'll check in on that large brush fire near downtown in a moment. But first, local authorities remain at Lake Shawnee, where a man was found dead earlier today. Here's a live look at the scene. It's on the west side of the lake near the yacht club. Shawnee County Sheriff Herman Jones says a person in a sailboat found the man unresponsive in the water just after noon and called authorities. Wildlife and Parks crews recovered the man's body about an hour ago, just 25 yards from the shore. A few moments ago, we're told most of the crews who responded cleared the scene. Here's Sheriff Jones.
Know the age, but a white male, obviously non-responsive to that. We don't know why the individual was in the water, but that'll be part of the investigation at this time. Obviously, when the individual was taken to the coroner's office to get a determination, give a better interpretation as to why the individual or what happened with that is what we'll be looking at. So.
Again, about an hour ago is when Shawnee County authorities confirmed the man was found dead. His body has been taken to the coroner's office for examination. Of course, they'll be looking into what the cause of death was and identifying the victim. A former KU and Washburn football player is missing. Former college standout Brandon Bourbon was last seen Saturday, according to the Missouri State Highway Patrol. The MSHP posted a missing persons report that said 24-year-old Brandon Kyle Bourbon was missing since April 2nd. Former teammates went to Twitter to ask for help in finding him. 13 Sports Director Chris Lilly will have more later on in sports. A large brush fire continued to burn in Topeka, and fire officials are warning you tonight to be extra cautious because you can expect that smoke in the air through the night, which could trigger some breathing problems for people. 13's Tori Mason is at the scene. It's at Southeast 18th and Madison, where crews have been working since 10 this morning. Tori?
Hi, Melissa. Fire crews have been trying to combat this fire since 10 this morning, and since then they'd have it contained and there's been no structural damage. But due to the intensity of the fire, people can expect to see heavy smoke in the area, which could be problematic to people with respiratory conditions. Now, the National Weather Service predicts that the smoke dispersal conditions will worsen as the evening continues. So again, people with respiratory issues should remain indoors until conditions improve. Fire Marshal Michael Martin says crews were called to the scene at 18th and Madison just after 10 this morning. When crews arrived, they found a large brush heavily involved in flames. Most of the flames were concentrated near the center of the pile, and fire crews utilized an aerial truck to keep the flames contained. Now, right now, we're live with Fire Marshal Michael Martin to sort of explain what really did cause this fire today. Marshal?
Hi. Yes, the company that does the wood service here was using an incinerator to clean burn some of the wood. While they were loading it, a spark escaped from the incinerator and it caught the main pile on fire.
And what are you doing right now to contain the fire?
Well, we're just trying to use some heavy equipment to get in to access some of the areas and just putting on a lot of water and hoping we can get it kept down.
Thank you for that. These crews will be working at least overnight and into the early morning, but we'll keep you updated on WIBW.com, our Facebook, and Twitter as well.
Thank you, Tori. And that brush fire followed a busy overnight for Topeka fire crews. Fire officials blame improper disposal of grill ashes for an early morning fire. A resident at 1920 Southeast Indiana woke up to a smoke-filled room just before 6:30 a.m. That person alerted others in the home and everyone escaped unhurt. Damage is estimated at more than $21,000. Fire crews say a man's 2 dogs woke him up when his house caught fire. Fire crews saw heavy flames coming from the front of 909 Southeast Wood when they arrived just after 11:30 last night. The man and his dogs got out unharmed. Fire crews say the blaze was intentionally set on the front porch. Anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers. They're at 234-0007. Junction City Police are continuing to investigate the death of a Fort Riley soldier. The family of Sergeant Laird Landis says his wife Kayla found him unresponsive Friday morning at their Junction City home. Fort Riley officials say Landis was a member of the company C 2nd Battalion, 34th Armored Regiment, 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team. The Abilene, Kansas native joined the Army in February 2010. He'd been at Fort Riley since 2014. He deployed to Afghanistan in 2010 and Kuwait in 2014. Police say they do not suspect foul play. He is also survived by his 2-year-old daughter, Emma, and his wife saying they are in shock and grieving their loss and asked for privacy. A 22-year-old Junction City woman died yesterday afternoon in a Geary County wreck. The Kansas Highway Patrol says Caitlin Head was northbound on Clarks Creek Road when her Pontiac Grand Prix veered into a ditch and rolled, hitting a cement culvert. Head was taken to Stormont Vale, where she was pronounced dead. KHP says she was wearing her seatbelt. Taking a look at the weather, the winds died down today, but that still didn't stop many grass fires from going out of control around the area. Fire crews are urging extreme caution. Ian Cassette, if anyone's out there burning this evening.
Yes, absolutely, especially with the already not so great conditions for breathing. Any smoke that does ignite will be increasing throughout this evening, dispersing more, and that's what National Weather Service had said as gusts continue. And it's only going to get worse the rest of this week. So if you thought today was bad, it might be even worse tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You get the picture. Winds are in the air, and that is because we have a number of systems. There's that fire at the 18th and southeast on Madison, and that will continue throughout this evening, and that smoke will continue to disperse with the heavy winds. As you look at the satellite, it's actually clear. There aren't technically any clouds in the sky. Anything you see in the air right now are from the smoke across the area with all the brush fires. Wind speeds right now are generally out of the northeast, but they will be shifting to out of the south overnight. With those highs today, we did reach into the upper 60s. It was overall pretty comfortable, but once again, we do have that fire danger. Will be high risk tomorrow with strong winds likely throughout the day, and then we'll have some storms later on in the evening. I'll be getting into that in your 8-day forecast, all coming up.
Ian, thanks so much for the update. Shawnee County commissioners split today on how to approach the future. Commissioners voted 2-1 to approve creating a comprehensive plan for unincorporated areas of Shawnee County. They'll pay RDG Planning more than $114,000 to come up with it. Planning Director Barry Beagle says the plan would give the county a sense of direction and focus as the county grows into rural areas. But Commissioner Bob Archer voted no, saying he thinks the plan duplicates work already being done by JADO and Go Topeka. We are on your side tonight with a travel alert for all of you who might drive on K4 southwest of Topeka. You can expect some delays as crews are doing a resurfacing project on a 10-mile stretch from Auburn Road to the Shawnee-Wabunsee County line at Carlson Road. Crews started today replacing pavement, followed by an asphalt overlay. That work will take place Monday through Friday. The project will be completed in 3 phases. They'll work first on K4 from Auburn Road west to Glick Road. Phase 2 is from Glick Road to Southwest 57th Street, and then finally from 57th to Carlson Road. Wheel of Fortune has thousands of loyal fans around Northeast Kansas, and every now and then one of them gets to play the game and spin the wheel for real. Ralph Hipp is live at Lazy Toad in Fairlawn Plaza, where the wheel watching has begun. Ralph?
Hi, Melissa. Well, there's only one guy in the room who knows how this Wheel of Fortune turned out tonight. His venture with Pat and Vanna. Luke Thompson is here live before he appears on Wheel of Fortune tonight at 6:30, right after our newscast. Luke, it's good to see you. I'm not going to ask you the obvious question, but you have packed this room tonight. They're excited for you.
I didn't know I had this many friends.
They're all here. You're going to have a lot more friends after it's over. This room is packed at Lazy Toad. They're also playing some Wheel of Fortune games over here. Luke, when I'd been in the audience a long time ago, they used to have to stop the show to change the puzzles. Did they stop the show when you were there?
Well, they stopped the show every time, and they came straight to me because I was the most nervous. I was the one that was sweating the most, and they hit me with the makeup.
They'd have to do. When did you do the show?
I did the show in December.
Last December, so
Yeah.
Here it is, first week of April.
Yeah.
And I heard a rumor, as a news guy, I'll check one rumor, that you paid for this party with some of your winnings. Can you crack that code for me?
Well, at this point, I have to tell you that most of the party was paid for by someone else.
Okay,
if
another
I paid with
friend.
my winnings, it wouldn't be a very
All
good
right,
party.
well, we're going to find out how much it is. I hope you get to the final round and hope these friends have a lot of fun. So, Melissa, Luke Thompson on Wheel of Fortune on 13 right after our newscast, and I'll be watching probably back at the station because there's hardly any room to stand here. Congratulations, Luke, on a great show, I'm sure.
Thanks for coming, everybody!
Back inside you, Melissa.
He has been keeping the secret for 4 months, so we can't wait for him to be able to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. Thank you, Ralph. A shredding event is headed to our area. We are on your side with when you can take advantage of that coming up. Plus, some future entrepreneurs gathered in the capital city. Find out what brought them here next.
You're watching 13 News at 6 with Melissa Bruner. 13 News, Kansas News Leader. You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Topeka's Capital Federal is teaming up with Jayhawk File Express on another way to keep your identity safe. We are on your side with details about that. CapFed will hold a free shred day tomorrow from 11 to 1. You can drop off your personal documents at Crestview Community Center so they can be properly destroyed. You can drop off 2 bags or boxes to be shredded at no cost. CapFed says documents such as bank statements, utility bills, old tax returns, and check carbons are among the things you should always shred so thieves can't get a hold of your personal information. America's future leaders are getting a head start on the skills they need to take them to the top of the corporate ladder. Kansas Future Business Leaders of America is holding its annual state leadership conference today and tomorrow. More than 2,000 students from around the state are expected to take part. They'll compete while testing real-life skills such as marketing, public speaking, business plan development, and more.
They certainly learn leadership skills. They learn how to communicate, and they learn how to connect.
I've loved every minute of it, getting to meet everyone in Kansas. I think that's the biggest experience for me, was getting to meet all these people that are interested in the same thing I am. So that's really exciting to know there are people out there like that, and people out there trying to better their futures and make things better for themselves.
Events wrap up tomorrow with an Awards of Excellence ceremony. Students are also raising money for the March of Dimes. Outside today, sunny skies, warm enough temps, and a little bit of a break from the wind. But how long will that break last? And do you need to grab that umbrella once again? Ian Cassette has your forecast with the answers next.
This is your 13 weather forecast with Ian Cassette.
It really wasn't too bad today. We have temperatures in the upper 60s with plenty of sunshine and lighter winds. But that didn't stop the fires from continuing today, and that is only going to get worse throughout the week. Taking a shot outside right now, this is from near Maple Hill. Many are driving on 70. If you're driving west, you will see the smoke rising in the air. Very low visibility there, especially farther west you go. So there are plenty of burns going on right now, so that smoke may cause issues for those with respiratory problems, so be aware of that. Temperatures right now, 66 degrees in Lawrence and Topeka, 69 in Emporia, 62 in Hiawatha, 63 degrees in Marysville, and 65 degrees in Concordia. So pretty comfortable evening temperature-wise. And the satellite radar showing you that things are generally quiet over the northern and central plains, but we have a system off to our northwest moving into parts of Wyoming and Montana, and that will be moving into our picture sometime tomorrow afternoon and evening, giving us a cold front and spiking those rain chances. Now, here's what the Supercast is saying. It will also be very windy tomorrow, so there will be a fire danger as well, with winds gusting out of the south and it being dry for a majority of the day, not until the afternoon when things start to pick up. That cold front's going to move in later on the afternoon, and in north central Kansas is going to see that chance for rain really pick up sometime late in the afternoon, right around when you're driving back home from work. So there you go. That rain's going to move through north central Kansas, and by 9 o'clock making it somewhere near Topeka, that line of thunderstorms. There may be an isolated severe thunderstorm. One of the models is kind of overdoing it, I think, but we may see some strong storms with this, but overall just going to be a light rain event, maybe a quarter inch of rain out of this, and that will continue through Wednesday, and then starting out the day on Wednesday will be clear and dry, but those winds will be gusting. It'll be gusty through the rest of this week, so that fire danger once again will only be increasing. And for tonight, 44 degrees. Those winds out of the southeast will be shifting 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll have some partly clear skies there, and then tomorrow clouds will be generally partly cloudy, but late in the evening and the afternoon, that's when that rain chance will be picking up. We'll get up to 75 degrees. It will be gusting up to 35 miles per hour, so once again a very breezy day then. And looking ahead to that 8-day forecast, with that cold front passing through Tuesday night, temperatures will drop off somewhat, and we're seeing very comfortable and seasonable temperatures throughout the end of the week with plenty of sunshine. But our next rain chance will move into that picture sometime Sunday, as it looks like an active weather pattern could start out our week ahead. But overall, temperatures are very comfortable throughout this week. We just have to deal with those high winds, which create issues for those fires as well.
They absolutely do. A little rain would be good, so we can get a little moisture and maybe fire up the lawns and gardens and flowers.
And spring. Get all spring up.
April showers. Thank you so much. Well, they sure made it exciting, didn't they? And kept us up late. You're going to hear from the Kansas City Royals after their opening day win over the Mets. Plus, further details on the missing KU and Washburn football player.
13 Sports with Chris Lilly.
Hello everyone. Former Kansas and Washburn football player Brandon Bourbon has been missing for the last 2 days. The Missouri State Highway Patrol posted a missing persons report that says the 24-year-old Bourbon hasn't been seen since Saturday, April 2nd. Bourbon played football for the Jayhawks until 2014, and then he transferred to Washburn for his final year of eligibility. Former Kansas teammate Ben Heaney went on Twitter and says Bourbon has been missing for 2 days with no communication to anyone and that his family is very concerned. We have more information online at WIBW.com. The Kansas City Royals are now on pace to finish the season undefeated after their Game 1 win over the New York Mets, but we'll see how that works out. The Royals, they won the game in typical Kansas City fashion with opportunistic runs, great defense, and the bullpen was able to outlast the Mets. For the Royals, they were glad to get back in front of the home fans at Kauffman Stadium.
Season off, it was a lot of energy out there tonight. It was a great atmosphere to play in. It was fun to play in front of the fans in Kansas City again. We had a great turnout and surprise this year, but it was fun to get back here at the K and go back to work.
Electric. Kauffman Stadium's always like that. Those fans pack the house, and you can feel the energy as soon as you step onto the field.
Especially the way the game ended there at the end. It was kept everybody glued into it and came down to the wire. I think this is it's a great treat for baseball fans just to have these two teams go and start off the new season. And it was a great game tonight, and it was fun to watch, fun to be a part of.
And while today marks the beginning of baseball season for a lot of teams, it's also the end of college basketball season. Here's what Roy Williams and Jay Wright had to say before tonight's NCAA National Championship game.
For me, it would be a dream, a goal that we set at the start of the season, that we had a chance to be the best team. And now we're one of only 2 teams that still has a chance, so that's really important.
It's going to be a battle of wills, because they do some things really well that we don't. We have perimeter play that's different, a lot different than theirs. Obviously, we're going to have to deal with their size, their length, their rebounding, their inside game. This is going to be a hell of a game. This is going to be a good game.
And that game is later on tonight on TBS, and that does it for sports. Melissa, back to you.
Yes, a little different this year. CBS does not have the national championship game under the television rights deal that was negotiated with the NCAA. So TBS is where you have the title game going if your bracket is not entirely busted and having you frustrated. We're going to check back with Ian to find out what the temps have in store for you if you need the long sleeves next.
This is your 13 weather forecast.
It'll be extremely comfortable this evening as temperatures will be in the 60s, but they will be falling into the 40s overnight, and clouds will be increasing into the day tomorrow, expecting some partly cloudy skies there. But you see beautiful, got the green going on with the spring weather, spring-like weather continuing, and tomorrow we'll get some spring-like rain. 44 degrees tonight, winds southeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour with those increasing clouds, but those winds will be picking up tomorrow afternoon. It will be breezier than what it was today, so that fire issue will be another concern, as a rain chance won't be coming until late in the afternoon and early evening hours for north central Kansas, and then later than that for parts of eastern Kansas, but could be seeing some thunderstorms in there. And then looking at the temperatures for the rest of the week, will be cooling down somewhat Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with plenty of sunshine there, but it will also be very windy as well, and looking to a great Saturday forecast, at least maybe a little bit rainy on Sunday.
Okay, and again, if you are seeing smoke rising from near downtown Topeka, that is due to that large brush pile on fire near Southeast 18th and Madison. And again, if you missed our report earlier in the news, Fire Marshal Mike Martin telling our Tori Mason that it appears a company was using an incinerator near that brush pile. A spark escaped, and that is what started the fire. We'll keep you posted on WIBW.com. Stay tuned. We have a Topekan on Wheel of Fortune coming up for you next.
Get the latest news, weather, and sports at WIBW.com or follow WIBW on Twitter, Facebook, and our mobile app. Thank you for making 13 News the most watched evening news show.